Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep
what
your
up,
soul
man?
too.
It's your big brother K-Reno.
And it's your boy Key Stove.
And y'all are tuned in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself, man. And tonight, when you talk about artists who do it with a passion, artists who are unafraid to speak their life and speak their reality and put it on record and let it be a testimony for other artists coming behind them to follow suit. When you talk about skillful artists who know how to take the craft of constructing and putting together bars and merge that into relatable content.
Man.
When you talk about the 903, Longview, you got to talk about LD 300, man. How you doing, family member?
Man, beautiful, man. Glad y'all having me, man. Thank y'all.
Man, no, we glad and honored to have you here, man. You know, if everybody could have heard the conversation before the conversation, man,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
but also what
I had to fan out a little bit. We gotta fan out. Gotta give props where they do, but also I gotta pick his brain.
man.
You know, I gotta pick your brain. You know, legend in the game. Like Key told me to make sure that I tell you that he love you, and that KeKe told me to make sure that I tell you that he love you and what you represent to this game. And so, just for me having an opportunity to ask every question that I wanted to ask,
Man, well,
you know, and having that bridge there, that's beautiful, man.
well, the thing is now we get a chance to pick your brain, and KeKe, I love you too, brother, and everything you've done for us and done for hip hop and done for this city, brother. So you already know, man, it ain't nothing but love and respect for the next 20 million years, brother. When you talk about picking brains, man, I think a lot of times what people make a mistake of, they'll feel like, well, you know, this guy been doing this for 40 years, whatever. So, but everybody has something to contribute to this game. And so when we was on the elevator coming up and Keisto was saying, well, man, you've been about 5 or 6 years, you know, that surprised me too, because you have the whole aura and all of the components of a veteran that's been seasoned, that's been doing this 10, 15 years.
Man, I
years
appreciate
plus.
it.
What, give us your origins, man, like coming out of Longview. How'd you get interested in the music?
Actually, definitely not in the streets for sure. I got locked up young when I was 17, 18, turning 18, and went to prison. And in prison is where I learned how to, you know, write raps and all of this. So it was the prison experience, young, and being in an environment, a competitive prison rap environment, young, that allowed me to kind of create my style and grow into using, really didn't know at the time, but using rap as expression and really finding myself in it, like how to turn this my flow and my style into something that embodied me and what I was, you know, how I was coming. I don't even think I could have done that out here, you know.
Yeah.
So, and competitively rapping against people from different cities and just owning my craft, and over time I kept, basically I learned how to jam or rock out to the criminals, the drug dealers and the killers and the gang bangers, and you know, this is my crowd, you know.
The underworld.
So the underworld, and it just became like a thing, but in a competitive way though.
Right.
You know.
So your interest in rap, it wasn't, none of that was pre-prison. It just, it kicked in.
Well, so at the time, this is the time of like everybody first starting to freestyle, Screwed Up, clicking all of this.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, but I wasn't great at it. I wasn't like no, A1 freestyler off the top. I really like put the hours in to be good at rap. And I remember when I first started rapping in prison, people used to walk off. And then being with shout out my brother Rewiring, that was the best in there. As a matter of fact, he ended up being locked up with J-Dog. He was a sensei to J-Dog too. J-Dog could tell you that, and that's how he came out of, prison, like how he was, so just had somebody that was cold around me. But I always had love for lyricists, and I just never thought that I would be somebody that was just doing it like that. But
who was you listening to? Who was some of the, even if when you wasn't doing it, who was some of those lyricists and rappers that you was looking at?
I was listening to things that was happening at the time, SUC and all that, but I was a big fan of Biggie, Notorious Big. I was a fan of 8 Ball and MJG, Too Short, Q, Big Q. Q was my the first person that was my favorite. Then, of course, Snoop. Though in that era where everybody was like their own person, but I love game. I want to be here. I want to hear game. I want to hear street game. I want to hear, and I want the music to be yours and not sounding like others. Real big on that.
Who influenced you to put so much honesty into your music like that?
I think, having to, like, I'm just not playing, you know what I mean? So when I've learned that my superpower or whatever is that, I'm going to tell you, I really mean this shit, you know what I mean? I'm saying this, they can feel it, you know what I mean? Probably pocket something, but I just know that the more honest I am, the more they're going to feel it. The more faker you are, you're going to be like at that cognitive dissonance point where you're wondering what's going on and you in your head too much. But I just realized, man, if you turn it on and I say the most honest thing, I won off the top.
Right.
If I start that song like that with that, that right honest bar right off the top, it's over with.
Yeah.
One of the favorite ones I got is for me, my favorite one. Before the one I'm about to say, my favorite one was Morning Grind, Morning Glory.
Yeah.
But then when I got this new one, that How to Pray.
Yeah.
And when you started off, it was like, bitch, don't tell me how to. I said, well, I didn't even expect that to be the name of the song.
Right.
But man, what was going on with you that day? Because man, on all the rest of the songs in that one, I listened to all of them. Right. But on that one, somehow or another, in that booth, you were turned up.
My one thing, anybody that's a fan of mine, they know a constant thing throughout my music is prayer and staying. No matter what we doing, I don't care what we doing, whatever we doing, we're gonna stay God-centered, and we're gonna be doing this from a place of reverence. And it might not always be the right thing that we doing, but we're not doing it from the wrong place.
Come on. Yeah.
We not, trying to destroy the community and with no intentions of nothing, man. We taking care of grandma, we taking care of, we the ones they count on, and the things that we be involved in, they be a blessing for us.
Yeah. And
we recognize it as that, and we don't want to go to hell. We don't want to this we love life, we love God, and I just be wanting to tell people that it's for the people that rock with me, like, man, hey man, we need God. Like, don't be out here moving without no steering wheel,
Yeah.
We gotta have that steering wheel.
You know how to call no steering wheel. You're on the freeway with no steering wheel. Yeah, man. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I try to make that it's not even really my album if it don't got that theme in it.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta have that in there.
I think what happens a lot of time with our younger artists, as they watch when they see other artists doing the glorification of certain wrong lifestyles becomes to the forefront. And I think people don't know that you are able to speak that reality without putting it on a pedestal to make people think that, okay, man, if I had to sell some dope at some point in my life, that's just what I had to do. But I'm not bragging on it. I had it. Even if I break down how I was doing it, I'm displaying to you what mind frame I was in at the time.
But it's a reflection of the time, though. They don't have no grandma they pray for them. They grandma, you don't even know the difference between the grandma and the mama and the sister, and they all look alike. Yeah. So they not doing it, like, not trying to be honest. Yeah. They just they didn't go to church. They don't got no Easter pictures. When you show them, they ain't got no Easter pictures. Like, they never went to church ever. Man. You know, like, that's how it is. So they don't really know. They really empty to that. And when you tell them, if you even talk to them in a real way as somebody that know their prayer words and stuff like that, and their thoughts become things and all that, they'll be looking at you wide-eyed because they never heard that. They never even heard that before.
Right.
You know, that you can, man, you really can do what you want to do, nigga. It's like they told you in the fucking 3rd grade.
Right.
Your attitude becomes your altitude.
Come on, man. Attitude determines altitude.
That shit works.
And then you have the opposite, too, because you have a lot of them that were told that what they couldn't do and what they couldn't be. So to hear somebody come along and instill that positive reinforcement, do you find yourself in that position a lot, like talking to a lot of young people like me?
Yeah. A lot of my fans, they say, man, you the good bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm really just being honest with them, man. Like, life is hard, man. It's hard, and you just trying to do your best, and you trying to be something, and we all want basic things, you know? And they just want, the younger people, they want something too. They just want to be somebody, you know what I mean? And it's hard when the tools are not that difficult to know about and learn, but you ain't seen nobody do it.
Right.
You know, that you think you haven't seen nobody do it. So it just become real hard for you to find the map to be able to, you know, really the path to your own greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know because I'm a damn fool like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I know about crashing, you know, fucking yourself up real bad. And then you got to do it again just to see, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I went to prison twice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Got to see it real.
Right. So 2 stints in prison. When it was the last time when you came out, when you first come out? The last time you came out?
The last time I came out was 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you ain't been back since. You ain't going back. You done.
Nah, I ain't.
You know.
I don't want. And like I say, if I do, we know why I went back.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not nothing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the question I was going to ask is, what did instill it in your mind to say, okay, I'm through? You know.
It was just, I just never knew that. Like I say, that my thinking was fucked up in any way. I didn't know that, like, the things that you think that's gonna become your reality. That was like new information for me.
Where did you find that information at?
In the Prosperity Bible.
The Prosperity Bible.
It started with the book The Secret. Of course, I'm Muslim, so, but when I started reading the Prosperity Bible, Master Key System by Charles Hannell, Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, just all of these books, As a Man Thinketh, James Allen, just, I dissected. I was just, man, really just going crazy on those books. So many, I could just really just, you know, so many, you know what I mean? But I needed to immerse myself fully in it because as I'm reading, I'm reflecting. And I'm like, damn, all of these, I always knew that I was going to be able to get in that interrogation room and say, fuck you, I ain't telling you nothing. I always knew that I was going to get a chance to shoot somebody in a meaningful way. Like, not that I was going to be a crazy killer, but I knew somebody was going to try me one day and I was going to stand over them. And it was going to be, they was wrong. You know, I've lived these situations, but it was so hard in my mind. You know, like they say, practice looking hard.
Right,
Them songs like that.
Right.
I knew I was going to get that opportunity. And of course, as I lived it out, but as I was reading these books, I'm like, damn, I did. Like, I've been making it if I can make that, I can make anything. I can make myself. I can establish myself as a legendary rapper.
So you think that you shape your own reality, like say as a man thinketh, like you like just visualizing and then walking into like, because I believe, I agree with you, we have the power to like say speak life and death, but to think it as well. We think life and death as well.
It starts with a thought.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then as you start acting on what you think, you know, it becomes more and more, you know,
concrete.
Sentient.
Yeah. Sentient.
Sentient.
Yeah.
Sentient. Yeah.
Okay.
Tangible.
Tangible.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And but for me, even looking up, man, Bus was with me in prison, and it's stuff that they be reminding me of that I never, I remember, but I don't remember. They said that when I first started getting tattoos on my face, somebody would ask me, Al, like, why you getting them tattoos on your face? It's crazy. It's like, we gonna be rappers.
Right.
I don't even remember saying that.
Right.
She knows. Like, what the fuck are you asking me?
Yeah.
We're gonna be rappers, nigga.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I don't even, know that this is like, I'm going overboard, you know what I mean? And just, for me to look up one day and be, man, one day I realized that, because I didn't know nobody. I didn't know nobody. How the fuck you?
In terms of people in the rap game. Yeah.
How the fuck you don't need? I got a producer, my friend came from back home. But how the fuck you gonna do this? Yeah. Do you know this is impossible?
Oh man, come on, man.
I always thought when I first seen you, I said, man, he must like Birdman a lot.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of my time locked up, I was down south on Briscoe Unit in Dilley, Texas. It's fully Mexicans. So we us blacks and a lot of that culture started to merge down there. So if you see a lot of people that did a lot of time down south, that was especially coming through at a young age, we all look the same. I know I'm in rap, so it's like, but we all look like, a lot of us look like this. You know what I mean? So it really wasn't nothing to be, all inked out and stuff like that. It really kind of became a thing down there. It was really just a merging of cultures, to be honest. So I'm not the only one that look like this, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. So when you were naming off those books that you were reading, was there a situation where as you was reading those different books that they helped to kind of rewire your thinking and the way
without a doubt.
and give you understanding?
Understand the Quran better too. Because as I was reading I'm seeing that in the Quran where it say, never will Allah change the condition of a person till they change
their own condition.
Yeah. These are things that I've been reading a long time, but I never, and as you reading this ancillary information and pairing it with, because that's what I'm gonna check any information up against what the Quran says.
Yeah, you gotta verify it.
Right.
Yeah.
And as it's saying that, I'm like, what you know what I mean? Well, let me get my bro. Literally a couple years ago, and I've been out 6 years, I literally realized, even today, like, I'm on the phone with Bun B. I just get out the phone, Slim Thug. I don't even talk to nobody outside of my media people. All the rappers are my friends. Like, these are all in my state. I am in the
loop.
These individuals in my state. 7 years ago, if you would have told me that, I would have been like, how the fuck is that going on?
Because you're the industry plant.
Right. Because you're a plant, that's right.
Yeah.
But really, like, just coming out of, but I'm at these parties, man, and sometimes I don't know if they be looking to see how weird I be looking, but I'm smiling at these parties. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can get anybody on my albums. I can, you know what I mean? I'm just very, very grateful.
Yeah.
And we are still at the beginning of it, but I'm very grateful to be accepted in this. And that's why I say, again, like, Houston, like, man, Houston is like the best. I mean, anybody that talk to me and tell you, I'll be like, man, y'all from Houston, man. Y'all stop playing, man. You better not cry about nothing.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, this is H-Town. Like, you can do anything. Like, you riding by these buildings, you ain't inspired. This shit is all the way up to the sky. You can be in there.
Yeah.
You know
We spoiled, man.
Yeah.
We just some spoiled brats because we've always, with recent years, we just got it like that. And then now we don't appreciate what it actually is we had. You coming from Longview, and even when we were having this conversation off camera, you presented that perspective to me like, dude, you look for where you come from. Like, dude, what is y'all tripping about?
Again, we don't have no K-Reno. We don't have no school. I'm talking about, and we not just talking about Longview, I'm talking about everywhere else. Yeah, everywhere. Dallas. Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't got no K-Reno in Dallas. They don't have no Lil KeKe up there. They don't have Slim Thug. So every neighborhood here, they don't got Cal Wayne. Every neighborhood here, pretty much, there's not 45 minutes that you could drive in any direction where you ain't in the neighborhood of somebody that's done something reputable in music here. Come on, man. Like.
Do you ever, as you make that statement or you think that, do you ever say, well, it's gonna be me then. It's gonna be you? Because I think about people like Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy always make sure you let people, man, I'm from Hearn, Texas. I'm from Hearn, Texas. You have other artists that have come from smaller towns and states and, different states in Texas also. But now you being from Longview, do you ever say somebody had to put this city on the map,
Yeah.
and maybe it's me?
Well, I look at it as I think maybe I'm gonna ask Bun this, but it's like a league. And when you're in Texas, it's a league.
Okay.
And wherever you're at in Texas, you got to make pilgrimage to Houston.
Yeah.
And you got to get stepped by them. Big extra plug will tell you that. Anybody will tell you that. You got to come here for these people that where this game began. In our state, the game began here.
Gotcha.
And you got to come down here and either put a flag in the ground here, or you got to come and they got to put their arm around. You got to do work in Houston in order to have a career if you're coming from this state. So for me, it was about, first of all, Kiki's the one that told me, because when I got out of prison, I went to Austin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But he was like, you can move to Houston. You can bring this down here. Then when I was finna move down here, he said, and before you move down here, you need to show me where you're moving so I can say, can you go there?
Yeah.
Can you go there or not? Because I had to be he wanted me to be on the right side of town.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, you got to come here, man, and you got to, if you from the state, you know what I mean? If you from the state, you got to make pilgrimage, because just the reality of it is, well, I'm going to say the other chip that that puts on my shoulder is I feel like it's like going against the white man. I gotta do twice as much of a person that's from here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I gotta go 2 times harder because they from here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You gotta have that output. You gotta put that work in.
Because the next thing I wanted to ask you, how did you connect with KeKe? And I'm sure, I guess the connection with KeKe probably trickled down and led to you connected with the other guy from out here. But how did you and KeKe first come into contact?
Well, when I came home, first of all, when I got out the first time, right before I got locked up for the second time, I did a mixtape in my hometown called 300 Reasons for War. And Key had came through doing a show in my hometown, and they talked to him and like, man, you have to fuck with ALD, blah, blah, blah. So I was rapping when I got it the first time, but I just did one album. And so I did this album, and I'm from a murderous little town, right? So they don't want to openly celebrate you when you're in their face, right? Gotcha. So I get locked up. I end up, long story short, I got KeKe on that album. Of course, he don't remember that. He riding Hidden Licks in all these towns. Anyway, but that album became like a thing where I'm from. And so I get locked up, and I constantly heard over the years I was gone over a decade. So I'm constantly hearing that was like a thing, like a back home, like a classic, you know. And so under that thinking, when I got out, I was on some, well, I'm gonna just call Key, blah blah blah. I'm gonna tell you, man, I think some things, but I don't know how I'm gonna do them. But I just think it something crazy, and it'll be all right. You know what I mean? And I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But with him, I just I called him. I'm like, bro. Well, I got his number, you know, and I was like, man, I'm mad, D. Do you remember we did that album? No. But anyway, I'm trying to do this, and I hadn't even. This is like probably my second or third song that I recorded, and when I'm telling him to, so basically, and another thing that I can't go without saying is I was locked up with a lot of real dudes from everywhere in the state. So I was able to also reach out to some homies of mine, Alvo, and a lot of people from South Bank to go do, you know, be able to do a video in the neighborhood. I'm still on the monitor. I had to get, so KeKe actually had to talk to my parole officer to get me to, so I can come down here. So he did the verse. My song wasn't the greatest. This is me just, you know, whatever. I don't really know nothing. I'm really like just out here. It's amazing how you don't even know when your music bad at some point.
Oh yeah, man.
That's
We
crazy, right?
all been there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they had so many people out there in my first video shoot, Shy Propane and all that. It was so many different people out there, and then they had their whole hood out there. The fuck is this dude? Somebody from y'all was locked up with? Who's like, is this looking crazy out there at King's Store? Fuck is this, you know? And so it was a spectacle. And just so from there, we kind of kept in touch. He was saying moving and doing all of that. We started coming and you know, we just maintained a relationship from there. And like I say, if I can ask questions of you, that's all I need. If I can be able to ask you questions, it's on. And I was able to ask him questions and apply what I was learning. Mr. Lear reached out to me. Like, man, I like what you're doing. Let's work. And found my partner in him. Yeah. And we just kept going, man. And it's just been on ever since. Yeah. And, you know, Key was inviting me to things and I was able to see certain things. We parties and rubbing shoulders with people. I remember, you know, we went to this party. I'm arguing with Willie D. I just met him, you know. We already arguing. So just putting me in these situations. And I remember one time that we had the rest in peace, my homeboy Bobby Hustle. We was at an award show down here, and I won some won Lyricist of the Year award down here. These is big things for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, I remember Busta told me like, because Bon B had got presented an award, and I didn't know him at the time. It was like 4 years ago. He's like, man, Bon B know who you is now, like, and like from that point to now, like, man, this is like my whole. You know, it's an amazing ride. But I would tell anybody, you can do it if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it got to do with the skill too, man. Mm-hmm. You know, because you so talented as a writer and as an artist that it's just undeniable for anybody that hears you to not say, unless they hating, then they might say, but to hear you, it's undeniable. Like, nah, this dude got something. So greatness is gonna gravitate towards greatness. So if you haven't ascended to that level just because time hasn't permitted you to do that yet, it don't disguise the fact that the greatness is still there and people recognize it.
Yeah.
You know.
It mean a lot, but like I told Mike D, he was the first person to tell me that on camera.
Yeah.
He was saying, I'm keeping count.
Yeah.
Man, coming from y'all, that's where, you know, and for people to say it in open spaces, like, that mean a lot to me, coming from where we come from. Like, man, like, to hear who we, you know, y'all don't think of y'allself. A lot of y'all don't think, you know, but around, trust me, y'all are standard bearers. You know, so when y'all say things like that, it really like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, and rappers in general, man, because rappers are notorious for not giving other rappers credit. So when they give it up, then that means, you know, it was worthy to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
I think that propels him a lot more too is the amount of work he do, the high quality of it. and even the videos and the honesty that he puts into his music. But then beyond that is his level, his humbleness, his gratefulness, and you can look at him and see he's Tasmanian animal.
Yeah.
But the levelness of that where you just so humble,
very humble,
and gracious and thankful to be here. Which you just say, man, look, give me the damn thing. Let me download it.
Yeah,
because you're never disappointed. And like I said, man, some of the best music I've heard. You like the newest old nigga I'm listening to.
No, straight up.
I thank you for that. I thank you for that.
But nah, it's high quality though.
Man, I appreciate
when
it.
I heard that song, First Day Out.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Bro, see, it's like, even just that concept, you know, because, you know, we know what the prison industrial complex represents to us as black men and black women as well. But because of that, it's so many people that can relate just to the concept of it, you know, and they're like, okay, because what are you gonna do? You know, this is your pivotal point to say, okay, and most people would say, well, I already had my plans while I was in there. I was already laying the groundwork for what I was gonna be when I was to get out, and some people didn't.
Right.
And they got right back out there and, you know, maybe came back a couple times or went back and never came back. But when I heard that song, not only was the content, I was like, man, this dude's saying some real stuff. But I was also impressed with the craft work of it, the way you put the words together and all that. Because that's for me. It's always a double listen for me. I'm listening from two perspectives. I'm listening for what you're saying and how real it is, but I'm also, as a lyricist, looking at how he puts it together and merged the two.
Yeah. That means a lot to me. But when it comes to, I've been entertaining the trenches of the state for
you're seasoned, well seasoned, and
like I've been speaking to these people for years, and my style was cultivated with them. Like I had to, this not Longview in here. You know what I mean? This is Houston. This is every side of Houston. This is Fifth Ward. This is Pleasantville. This is Southwest. This is Oak Cliff. This is Agland, Fort Worth. This is Tyler. It's Abilene. And I have to get up here, whether it be at Tyleen service when I was on Briscoe, whether it be on the rec yards, and I had to be known as the best.
Yeah.
And I wanted it. I wanted to be the best. And if I'm not considered the best, who the fuck you say the best? Like, I gotta go get them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I gotta do this level of rap. I used to even it used to be on my mind, like, if I ain't the best, then why?
Come on.
Like, why am I why? You know what I mean? Like,
what am I missing?
Exactly. Tell me this so I can go work on it, because whatever it is, I feel like I got it. And coming out, you gotta do, we doing all of this in prison, there's no music.
Right.
So my skill I've, cultivated over these years, but you don't got a producer, man. You don't, I shout out my homie Kane. I do not want him to see this. Oh, you didn't have a producer. No, it's just, I didn't have a plan that I would be working with the biggest producers in the game. I did not as man, people literally reached out to me like the biggest.
Right.
And, hey man, I want to do something with you. Like, what's up? Let's work. Come on, man. Like, I didn't plan for that. So, but I'm saying even that was happening in the due season, in due time of me, going crazy, and people adding in until, and it's more to come, but it's just, overall, it's a process of discovery and development that led me to being able to do this. I was not good at rapping. I had to get good. I remember the first advice that I had from my man, the first real rap advice that really meant something to me, and I'm saying this because I'm talking to somebody like yourself. The first rap advice that really stood out to me was from my man Rari, who said that if you write 16 bars, if you do one of those bars, or however you want to say 16 bars, if you want to say 8 rhymes, if you do one of those rhyme couplets in a completely different structure than the rest of them, everybody will remember that.
Right.
I remember, and so that's one way of saying something dope. Well, if you change it multiple times throughout a verse,
Come on,
they're gonna say you're going the fuck out. They're gonna
come
say
on.
you're going crazy.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So I started owning that, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna say exactly what what I read in this book and how this shit is making it. This is exactly what I always knew I was gonna shoot this motherfucker. I knew it. I knew I was gonna shoot somebody.
Right.
I knew I was gonna hustle. I knew I was gonna be a great trapper. I knew one day that the things that my uncle told me, I would make him proud in that, you know? So, and I knew I was gonna be the realest, and I knew that if you're Goliath, I'm David.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew that, and I'm really blessed in that, because what I mean about the David and Goliath thing is that I stand up to bullies. Like I'm like the bully killer, you know, like, and I just had all of these opportunities to do things that gave me a chance to show that I was what I said I was, you know, and when you translate over into music, it sounds good. It sounds like you listen to somebody that's doing some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not lying.
Right.
You know, and it's coming from a real place. I'm speaking from the heart. And I also fear God. I'll fear God.
Come on,
for sure.
Come on, man. You know what's funny? It's crazy you even said that, because I'm a build on that before I ask this other question. Because, you know, I'm a fan of everybody out here that does podcasts. We love Mike D. We love Willie D. We love Donnie Houston. I was watching Willie D last night, and he had OG Johnny Bond on there the second time around. And they had that very discussion about fearing God. They spoke on that. And Johnny Bond was talking about, yeah, fear God, fear God. Will was basically saying, well, why would God want me to fear him? You know, they had different perspectives of it. It wasn't a disrespectful exchange, but they had different perspectives of it. Could you kind of tell people what fearing God looks like to you?
Yeah, it's just, well, I have a lot of conversations like this. It's about knowing where we're going and knowing why you're here. There's only one might, one power that exists. There's one thing that is not a thing, you know, and you have to remember to praise God. And one thing about it is that you gonna go through life gonna be seeming real. Life not really real.
Come on, man.
So you gotta always remember that. I know life ain't real. I'm carefree. You know what I mean? I know this shit'll be over, and I could walk out there and he could say, you know what, that was so good what you did with KeKe. Come on, boy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not begging to stay.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, please let me stay. You know what I mean? I ain't begging. I always say, the people listen to my music, I say, man, take me when you see me, when I done made you the most happy, man, get me out of this motherfucker. Yeah. None of this shit is real. But that's what it's about. It's about having that relationship with the source of all things.
Mm.
And as you live in that truth, along with the tricks and the fun of going through your ups and downs, your perceived ups and downs, and no matter what you ever went through, you already overcame it. You overcame everything that ever happened to you. You did. But as you going through things, I don't know. I don't know. This might be the one. I don't know how I'm up here. They're going to kick me out. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. But the reality of it is, you're not going to be under a bridge. You're not going to, this ain't the end.
Yeah.
You know, and whenever it is the end, it's good because we all going. Michael Jackson gone. Everybody gone. James Brown gone. Man, they took Frankie Beverly. You know this ain't the end, right? You know? So with that being said, you got to make sure that you stay God conscious no matter what's going on down here. And when you got a dark, you know, I come from a dark place, so I got the darkness too.
Right.
So what it is for us is the constant prayer. Prayer is like a bath. It just, you bathe your spirit, you get clean. You should pray as much as you shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just doing it like that, you're gonna always be in the proper mind. Sometimes when I see people arguing about stuff like that,
Yeah.
the intensity of a conversation about God and like, why should we fear him? If you go to talking too much about that, I'm gonna be like, man, when the last time you prayed? You don't pray, right? If you got a consistent prayer habit, the tone and tenor of your conversation is gonna be there's gonna be a truth that underlies and cuts to whatever you say, whether you're a rapper, even when you saying some ill shit that some people could take the wrong way or whatever, people gonna be getting the feeling like, man, he alright, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the people that done did some treacherous shit in the hood, most people would say they're the most God fearing.
Yeah.
That boy was God, you know, he came, he mowed the yard, he did this, he did that. But my thing, I feel like, what I would like for people to understand the most about me is that I still feel like I'm talking to the same person. I still feel like, that when you really down bad and you really done lost everything, I stole this from my man Buster, like when you really done had to wear another man's drawers, when you really been where you had it, you pouring, in prison they had that tooth powder that you put when you brushing your teeth with tooth powder. It that's down bad.
Right.
And you done lost it all. I feel like I'm still talking to that person. So real people like that, they get a different feel from my music. They know it. They hear certain things. It reminds them of certain things. And they be feeling like, man, we gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And people that know me, for sure believe in God, because he'd be like, man, that nigga there is one of the worst.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be here. Like, I really shouldn't be in Houston. I shouldn't be thriving. Like, I shouldn't be. God is good. He doing me real good.
Yeah, it was a cool conversation because, like I said, I seen both perspectives. I definitely understand that. I just think that when you look at that conversation, it's more so that, like you said, God being all powerful. He's all powerful, and anything that you could possibly have a fear of, he created it.
Right.
So it's like, don't bypass me to be worried about that or him. You worry about me. So it was really dope. And your perspective was really good.
This is where I ain't trying to do y'all too dirty with it, but I'll be speaking from the day of resurrection, the Yom HaAkidah, when we all gonna be gathered, when you gonna be called to account for what you did and what you said when you were dying. And when you talking about everybody cool, I'm cool. I done did some wild things. We all tough and stuff, but it's gonna come a day you have to go stand in front of them.
Right.
And that's when we talking. That's fear. That fear.
Yeah.
That fear of knowing that you ain't got nothing to hide. You can't hide it from him. When you standing up there in front of him and he's saying, and everything is revealed in that open book.
Yeah.
And you standing right there. Yeah, that right there. Is you ready? You wouldn't even tell all your sins right here.
Right, without a doubt.
You would be scared.
Without a doubt.
To just tell everything, the shit you was really thinking behind what you was doing. You really was trying to cut the old woman's throat. You really was trying to do this.
Yeah.
You was telling him that in the hopes that he'd get his head cracked.
Right.
That was your real intentions for that. You don't want nobody to know your real intent, but it's one that's gonna know it.
Yeah.
And
knew it before you did it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gonna have that day.
Yeah, man. That's
We're all gonna have that day in court.
Yeah. So Islam came to you when?
My stepfather was a Muslim, Jacob Fiacola. So I was acquainted with it younger, but in prison, and when I was 18, when I was 18, I took my shahada on January 16, 1998. And immediately, but before that, I was being led like to. I'm somebody that doesn't believe that everybody should be Muslim in the way that people think that. I think this is not. If I gotta say this, if I say anything good is from God, and if I say anything wrong,
it's from me.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that people like me that need extra looking over, they need to be Muslim. You know, you need extra looking over. You need to be praying 5 times. You need to be like you need to be like in constant communication with God. Like somebody like I think some people can be Christian. They like don't need as much attention as me.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that. But I was somebody that needed answers for every single question.
Come on.
And some people don't have to have answers for every question. I'm somebody that if I ask it and you don't know and it ain't no answer for it, I'm instantly uninterested, pissed off and everything else. And it was the only thing that had every answer.
Come on. Absolutely.
Every answer for me.
Yeah.
But I still believe that whatever path that a person find themselves on, religious path or whatever path.
Whatever works for you. Yeah.
As long as it recognizes that one entity, that one power.
Come on.
It'll work for you.
Absolutely.
If it don't recognize that, then I don't recognize it.
Yeah, no question about it, bro.
We don't went to,
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to.
No, this time around, we all over the place, man.
Okay.
It go where it go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's what it is. You know that balloon. It's like you don't know where it's gonna go. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Go ahead, Keith. Yeah.
Well, now I was gonna ask you, what was one thing that's in the street that you was great with, but now that you're in the music business, it's hard to do?
Like for instance, what?
I don't know, like say in your street business, you was great at this one thing or whatever you was great.
It's still the same.
Yeah.
For me, it's always about people. And in the streets, the people. I'm great with the people. I love being with the smokers. I can be with anybody. Like I'm down with it. I can see the humanity in people. And I think that's in my bloodline too. My cousin Pooh, he finna get ready to come home. Pooh like that too. Like we people persons, you know?
Yeah.
So one thing about trapping, the people, man, like the dough, answering the dough. You know what I mean? And dealing with the people and can't leave too fast. You can't just come here and leave out. I miss it. The door, man. The door, the camaraderie of the people and the neighborhood and them people that moves in Mexicans that move down the block, like the manning the people down the road that want to get involved and such and such house done got broke in down the road. We gotta. Who did that shit? That ain't right, man.
Right.
Going down there and getting no window fixed. Man, I miss.
Well, and that's the side of the game that I don't think a lot of people look at as well. When you have brothers that they might be out there trapping and doing what they're doing, but they still have a sense of community at the same time where they kind of on patrol in the neighborhood and make sure nobody bothers Miss Johnson when she coming home from the grocery store and like say getting the window fixed and things of that nature. That get kind of lost.
And letting it be known that if whoever it was, you know what I mean, we're going to take care of that and letting them, you don't do, or however gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah.
It was a code even in a lot of times, even in our ignorance, because I think even before we come into just the full knowledge of like, say, God and whatever religion you claim, I think that those principles are naturally instilled in us and somehow we just know. Okay, that ain't right. Even if we don't have the information to back up what we feel, the feeling is still there.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's pretty strong.
That was a great question. I like that. I never been asked that, but that in applying it to the rap game, it's still the people But I miss the people from the hood for sure. I miss the people from that's realer. Than this. But
with rap, how have you been able? Because you got a lot of catalog, bro. So, what was the year you dropped your first project? So I'm trying to get a gauge.
I dropped my first project since I came home in 2019 ASAP.
Okay.
Probably about 6 months.
Okay, so that was the very first thing you put out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why
no, that ain't the very first thing I put out, period. No.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean. First thing, period.
The very first thing that I put out, period, was the album that I told you about in 2007.
07,
Lil KeKe. Yeah. Or 2006, turning into 7. And then I got locked up February 5th, 2007. The code unit kicked my door in.
Yeah.
The door.
The door, man. He loved the door, man. They kicked the door in, man.
I was on the couch. I just had won a car. It was Super Bowl Sunday.
Man.
Yeah, man. It was beautiful. I thought it was going to be a great day.
Yeah. It was a great day for them, huh? Yeah. It ain't a great day for that camera, though. But the thing I wanted to go into because of that is because the reason why I asked what year was because 06, I saw a video of you recently where you had your USBs and you was doing your thing. I know in 06, physical copies was still the order of the day. So now, and I like to talk about this when any artist that comes on, how have you been able to transition from that time where it was all about the CDs to now you've innovated and figured out I can still move physicals, I just got to do it in a different kind of way?
Man, my fans, like I was able at the beginning first of all, I didn't understand the concept of streaming.
Okay.
From a standpoint of you telling me to give it away for free.
Yeah.
But I lived for this. I lived to be able to tell you this. I got to get paid. I got to get everything costing this. And I'm gonna tell you the big thing. I think rap is a calling.
Yeah.
And if it's really for you, you will be able to sell something. Like I remember that was the only idea I had, and I started selling, and they was buying it. They still buy it. They give me the ability to be able to do it. I wouldn't advise somebody else to do it to me. I wouldn't say that anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they've been buying it. And so I would put together these packs, and it was just like the trap. I was putting it together. I'm so meticulous about my merch. It's gotta look, it have to be what it is. And now my merch game done went even better. I got a great partner now. The juices are dropping here soon. With Houston, man. Y'all, man, what? So you telling me I can have my own juices, my own this, my own that. Whatever you talking about, it can happen now here. Dreams come true, or your dreams can't. Some people got dreams, but they in the wrong place. And
hold on, time out. 20-second time out. Yeah. That's the first time out of the game. Yes. You gotta elaborate on that, bro.
Man, you got dreams, man, but I be saying it all the time. I'm like, man, Houston, you can have a dream and somebody can have, man, okay, like for instance, I could be really working up a lot of times when I'm talking to KeKe, I'm talking to Deezy, my videographer, big guy down here, who I was also locked up with. But Buster for sure all the time, KeKe. And I could say something and somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, man, you're just not allowed to cry down here. You can do anything. Like you really, if you find yourself frustrated in Houston, get you some people and have a conversation.
And then it's your fault because if somebody comes from another city, and people get mad if somebody comes from another city and then plant their feet down in Houston and then start to ascend up.
Yeah.
And people get mad. He putting in the work.
Right.
You mad at somebody who has passed you up, but you're not willing to do what that person did in order to put themselves in that position.
My issue, sometimes I never want to get in trouble in interviews, but my issue is the people that be complaining in Houston, they be up.
Yeah.
Then the hell you up?
I agree with that.
The hell is you talking about, man?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Like they already at a level. It's like, bro, you don't see you doing good.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong
It's
with you?
It's the chase game. It's like the woman that he want don't want him, but it's a woman down under here that want him. He don't want her.
Chronic.
She's looking up at and that's the mentality. And I appreciate and respect people not being satisfied with where they are. I get that, but to not be satisfied where you are is fine, but to be ungrateful for where you are, that's a whole nother ball.
Right, especially when there are people that probably to themselves, they feel like they not. I think you also need to be a student of rap.
Come on.
So that way you can look at your level in comparison to Texas. And there's a lot of people in from this city in the map in the list of Texas 1 through 300 or whatever rappers we got in the state of Texas. Man, you in Houston, man, you ain't gonna get out the first 100. You in the top of the state.
Come on, man.
God damn, if we got 500 rappers that's known in the state of Texas, if you from Houston and you a rapper, you probably in the top 100 or 100 or so.
Come on, man.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
So it's like, what are you? It's active rappers is doing it.
Yeah.
Like, so you starting with a fucking head start.
Right.
And then when you saying that you add in, you went to Sterling. You went to fucking Gates.
Yeah.
You went to some type of icon high school. 5 or 6 people that's doing well in what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, and they know you and they willing to get out your feeling. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. People have a lot of preconceived notions. Nobody never told them no before. You never asked nobody nothing. Man, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna ask you, man. You messed up.
Hey, man, no, I didn't. Hey, because we of the same mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm more upset if you don't ask. Because I'm from that same type of mentality that cooperative, collective work that we got to do together. It ain't always about where's your budget, man, and let's put some work together.
Really like conversation.
Without a doubt.
Sometimes it's about energy exchange.
Come on.
You just need to be in the company of people that's having these types of conversations and good things will happen to you. Like it might don't even be a transactional, as far as from a transaction thing of I'm asking you exactly a question that you answer exact. It could just be in us talking.
Come on.
That something good can happen.
Yeah. You give that person something that they needed, but they didn't expect it to come from you in that moment.
Right.
And just to, like I say, when I speak about it and gratitude based on whatever levels that we perceive ourselves to be on or actually on, I always try to make people say, okay, well, look, man, think about if you were not on this level, the phone stopped ringing. Phone, however much the phone ringing, trust me, it can ring less.
For sure.
It can absolutely ring less. So you got to be really, really just put in perspective where you are. And again, that chase of somebody way down here that would, if they could get to where you are, they'll be cool. They wouldn't even look up.
He's right.
To the next step. They like, I'm good right here.
And I know people that's blowing crazy bags.
Yeah. Man.
Trying to get to, I want to say names of certain, but I ain't gonna do it. But it's people that's walking around here, maybe don't even got a vehicle.
Right.
It's somebody that wish they was on their level.
Yeah.
Like rappers.
Right.
Rappers down here that y'all don't give a damn, whatever.
Yeah.
It's somebody, boy, they wish they could be him.
Yeah.
With the that's another thing. Got people that made tremendous impact and they don't even, they hear and don't give a fuck. Man, you done made tremendous impact, man. You don't want to capitalize more on that.
Right.
You don't want to really lock in.
Yeah.
But that's the country part of me that wants or they want for my brother what I want for myself.
Come on, man. Yeah. And work ethic. It's like everybody doesn't have the same natural. I don't think that you can teach work ethic. You can try to instill it to a degree, and some individuals they may take to it if they never have been exposed to it and how important it is.
People tell me that it's not regular to be able to go like that. You know what I mean?
It's not. It's not.
But you do it.
Yeah, but I do it in my way, and that you do it in your way. It's like, and that's why I know it's not regular, because just like you said, there's some people who like, they get a little bit, it's compared to like sports. Okay, so this guy comes out, his first 3 years, he doing pretty good. He get the big contract. Okay, man, you done earn. Now we gonna sign you 4 years, $200 million. His game goes down after that.
Right.
Other guys look at it and say, well, you know what? I got the $200 million, but if I play good through this contract, I can get $350 next go round. It's just all about your level of satisfaction or dissatisfaction, and wanting to really just push yourself to the highest level. And I think that's what it is. Some guys are cool, man.
I'm living a dream. Like, I got that from Paul Wall. Like, I'm living a dream. Let's rap. Like, let's do it. Let's turn this shit on.
And look at what we do, bro. Look how easy, man. Look, man, and I promise you, man, I thank Allah so much, man, for where I am, because I got homies who get up and they go to work.
How did you get in Nation Islam?
Man, I got invited to the mosque in 1992. And
was you here when Farrakhan came?
I've seen the minister down here a billion times, man.
When he came to the Third Ward?
Yeah. Was it? Many times. He's been TSU's in Third Ward. I know the minister been at TSU at least a couple of occasions. I've seen the minister in Prairie View. I've seen the minister at the mosque. Cause I've seen the minister in Houston too many times that I can count. Right. And I've traveled to see him. I've been to Savior Day in Chicago, Savior Day in Detroit, I've seen the minister.
How is it that we got a mutual homie, Chill Will, shout out my homie. How is it that so many Houston people got turned out to Nation Islam and have been going to see him? Like, Will went to go see him in Chicago. Yeah. Like, how did Houston take to the nation like that?
Well, I think it's the
Cornell, shout out Cornell.
Yeah, it's the merger, to me, for me, hip hop and how Mr. Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam have always been welcoming to the rap artists, always been welcoming to rap artists, always been welcoming to people that's in the streets, hustling with it. He views black men and women as reflections of God. So wherever he sees you, whatever condition you in, whatever you're doing at the time, he know that's not really who you are. That's just what you're doing at the time. So it's never like a condemnation coming from the minister. So you hear rappers that was rapping about the nation at the time, Chuck D and all these guys, and it drove us as young people to want to say, well, man, who are these people that he talking about? Yeah. So when I was invited to come to the mosque, and I sat with Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, who sat in his seat last week, and I was explaining to him, like, man, when I first came to the mosque, I didn't make the connection between the nation and the minister, because I heard rappers rapping about the minister. So that was what it was for me. But when he embraced the rappers, and he was like, well, man, incorporate this into your lyrics, don't be scared to speak truth to power, to speak against the establishment that's oppressing us. And it's like, yeah, that's right up my alley. That's right up my alley. So that's one of the things it was for me, just from that side. But from actual Islam itself, it's the same. We basically tell the same story, just from different perspectives. Like, I grew up in the church. I came up with my mother, my grandmother. We going to church, still love the church to this day. But Islam itself gave me a greater understanding of what was being taught in the church.
Right.
That which, in my humble opinion, no disrespect, that a lot of our brothers and sisters don't really understand. A lot of it, the interpretations was given through the teachings of Elijah Muhammad for me. Right. So yeah, so that's what it was for me, man. But
some people that are Christian, they resonate that vibe, the Christian energy, the power, like what grandma and them had.
Right.
Uh-huh. And that's all that they need, really.
Yeah.
So and it's like I look at them and think highly of that. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
You can just easily get to that energy from there.
Right.
Me, it's like he didn't let me do that. He didn't.
That wasn't enough for you.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm one of those people who feel like, while I respect that energy, what you're saying, I don't think it should stop right there, because what happens is a lot of that energy for a lot of people, Muslims too, it gets rooted in emotional response, and as opposed to being able to say, well, hold on, man, what do I need to know? Like you said, you referenced the Quran. You know, people will reference the Bible. People will reference historical information and facts to bolster or prove whatever it is that they're standing on. And you have to have that as well if you a person who wants to help other people grow as well. You know, so we people are on the sidelines and they watching different people go at it or have debates or dialogues or difference of opinion. They searching for what they want to be. So if we let them down by being fools and talking crazy to each other, then, you know, we made a mistake. We've all done that, you know. So that's the thing with me. These artists out here, not just in Houston, man, you know, they love the minister, man. They love the minister because
sure. I love the minister.
They represent.
And I'm a traditional, what you want to call it, Orthodox.
Yeah, Orthodox, yeah.
But, you know, big fan, don't miss a chance when he finna talk. I am finna live 3 hours. We finna get up there and he finna go for a long time.
Yeah.
I put that time in, and I'm definitely a big fan of him. 90 years looking beautiful.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man.
And still speaking manly, man. That what do you call that? The testicle fortitude.
Yeah.
Get out there and say what you need to say, man. Minister always been like the example of what you would want to be, like how he eats there once a day. He got his farm.
He's the example that we can all look to among us. We definitely gonna revere any of our greats that came before that we didn't even live in the same time.
He's lived his life completely on camera, with no scandal.
And with no scandal, because he's the embodiment of what Islam really is. And all through that, no scandal, he's still the most hated. No scandal,
the truth
no weapons carried by the Nation of Islam, but the most feared by this government, the most hated by this government, the most lied on by this government, because when that God power is in you, we talk about the fear of God. When that God power is in you, the enemy who got all the guns and the tanks and the chemical weaponry and the propaganda machine behind them, they even scared of you.
Right.
You know, so he's just an example of like, okay, well, you know, if you live that way and you really stand on that God principle, you got everybody who's supposed to have everything, you got them running from you.
That's right.
Yeah, so you know, but Islam is Islam. I like say we Orthodox, Nation Islam, whatever it is. The principles of Islam don't change. That's what a lot of people got to know.
It's amazing to me how strong it is in this city.
Yeah,
I didn't know that by know the individuals I've interacted with throughout time and all of that. I just didn't know that it was such a big thing in Houston.
And the Orthodox was very strong. You know,
I attend my. I see a lot of people, but just I wasn't aware that.
Right.
But man, Houston is beautiful.
Man, without a doubt. Well, man, look, we glad that you in Houston, man, because you know we might have to go on and just jack you and claim you for our own, brother, because outside of the music, you know, just this conversation is just showing us that you bring so much more to the table, that wisdom, man. Where do you think that is just something that from family, or like just because you rooted in a lot of wisdom, bro?
Man, to be honest, just I think that I spent a lot of time messing up.
Yeah.
And I think that I be with the fuck ups. So we all try to help each other do better. Right. You know what I mean? So throughout time, I always went with the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And as we learn lessons, you know, it's different when you're learning at the bottom.
Right.
And we've been learning at the bottom a long time. And so we know what works, because it's like my man say, we had to try it for real. We had to try this Proverbs. You know, you got to try this. No, they say this. They say this can breed to this. This can, you know, this wisdom and folly, and what your feet can go this way and you lead to disaster. And we tried these things coming from, we have nothing else. you know, and for so long, so that kind of allowed me to know what's real from bullshit.
Yeah.
So when somebody try to, run game or, tell me that this right here, this good, nah.
Like, nah, don't
I
try
know
to.
what the truth sound like. I know what the truth is. I know what it is. When I'm around it, I know you can't bullshit me. And I'm not trying to bullshit you. So you can test yours up against me. I ain't going for, I can be smiling and all that, but I'm from the down bottom, the brick, so I know about rock bottom. And again, that kind of gives you the wisdom and the eyesight to know when you being bullshitted and when people is giving you energy that's not authentic.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So we great at that.
Yeah.
Now remember, we instinctual people.
Right.
So when we hustling and learning it from the nature, doing it from the nature, but we was able to put language and understanding with it by reading these books and communing with one another and getting that understanding. So that's where it all came full circle for me.
Man.
And we able to discuss it because I had to get up and talk about it. I had to get out there and I had to do Juma. I had to get out there and speak at Talim. I didn't held homies of mine crying, they lost their mom and all this type of shit. We done been through it all. And it just all it did was strengthen the brotherhood of those around. But it also, as you deal with other people, I can recognize it and they can recognize. We know each other in that way because real recognize real. These kind of people, these kind of individuals, we know each other when we come around each other. So I don't gotta try to act like nothing.
That's right.
That's another thing. I don't act like nothing. Everybody know me the same way. We gonna argue. We gonna talk shit. We gonna talk sports. We gonna do all that. But everybody know me the same way.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I put on no facade with nobody.
Yeah, no, you as you shouldn't, like I say, you got too many people that let me put this face on. I'm getting ready to walk in here. Hold on, let me switch up to this face. Nah, you just be who you are because it's just a need for unnecessary acceptance at times. It's like, okay, everybody maybe have a need for acceptance to a degree, but you don't need to be accepted by everybody. Right. Certain people you don't want to be accepted by, but we have a lot of us that feel like I got to get in with this guy. Hey, man, if me ain't good enough,
right,
then I just ain't good enough.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's what I think. I'm in the room. I damn sure ain't the brightest star in the room.
Indeed.
I'm glad to just be,
Well, that's what makes you the wisest man is the man who knows he ain't the wisest man.
Right.
And surrounds himself with wisdom, the people that can fill in those gaps that he may have instilled within him, man. Give us some new music. What you got coming out, my brother? Let us know what you got
Lose Your Life out right now. Album doing real well. Lose Your Life. Slowed and Chop, Run, See.
That was your first one?
That was my first one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was my first one that came out, but I got another one that came before it that's gonna come out later this year.
Okay.
So, but the next thing is the Bricks 2 movie. My first starring role in the movie, man. But it's my second movie that I've done in Houston.
We got 2 movie stars over there.
Yeah. Who busting? No.
They just got this.
I'm in one, Yeah, but that's amazing.
That's dope, though. You know, you gotta take full advantage of that, man. This film, this art, you already know you're gonna live forever. You already know that now. But the Bricks 2 movie coming soon. I'm doing the soundtrack on it. It's gonna be star-studded.
You in the
Double Cup.
Okay, what's the other one that I thought you was in another
in 2 movies.
Okay, all right.
Double Cup, when it's gonna come out, I don't know. I had slipped up.
Yeah, okay.
But it's coming soon. It's already done. But Bricks 2 is gonna be dropping this fall. First acting debut. The movie and the soundtrack gonna be real crazy. Got to get you on there.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, that's gonna be the icing.
I'm already on there. I'm already on there.
Yeah, for sure. That's gonna be the icing on the cake. That's coming. I'm putting it together now.
And about the Crown series.
I think Crowns ended at 12. But, you know, who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man?
I want to ask you this about Crowns. I was looking up some music on Apple, whatever, the music streaming platform. Did you put out all of those Crowns in 2022?
No.
Okay, because it says.
So what happened, right before I moved to Houston, which was in June of 22.
Yeah.
July of 22. But that Key had been telling me that I needed you gotta you gotta be streaming, you picking up fans 5 and 10 at a time. You could be picking up fans 150 at a time, you 1,000 at a time. This shit gotta be streaming, blah, blah, blah. So I brought my catalog to the distributor down here, So South, and we set a date to release all my albums in February 4th, 2022. All of the albums that I had previously sold direct to consumer, since I've been out, this is my livelihood. Right. And then I put them out. They had already heard these, and I just dropped them all on one day against the wishes of Randy and
They wanted to string it along. Yeah.
I mean, I should have did that looking back, but you know, I'm ready to get to David Street. I'm ready the David Street album that followed those albums that came out. Those albums that came out over the course of my first 2.5 years. Those, all of the ones that say 2022.
There's 11 of them.
Yeah. But that was, it was the fact of doing an album, selling all of the physical. My fans know I was not re-upping. I wasn't going to get hundreds more. So they rushed and get them, you know what I mean? And that was how I was sustaining myself. That's how I was living. Right. And then, and it was, to me, I took a pay cut to start streaming, you know what I mean? So it was like, damn, what the? Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But also I learned that, man, Key is a great teacher.
Man, 30 years, man. That's 30. He's been a professor and a scholar for 30 years.
You know, the crazy thing is, we always ask people, like artists, that, like, you never see KeKe really just co-sign nobody or sign anybody, really. Right. But we always ask every artist, we say, man, are you looking at any other talent? They be like, no, hell nah, because everybody is so entitled and they want this and that. But then I can see why KeKe. Yeah. Because you're not entitled, man, and you got that work ethic. So I can see how he can pull you like that star out the rough, man. I can see that. Yeah.
With the talent. Yeah.
He's very spiritual. And man, my whole is, I don't know if they want it, you know, Lee is very spiritual. We all like looking for underneath busters, man. We all, hey, we all, I'm telling you, man.
And, like-minded, man.
Right. Yeah. So, but I would say about him is that here go a KeKe legend, that you can't look to get the level of your effort is going to be rewarded, not in a transactional way. This is me paraphrasing, but you put your time, effort, and energy into this project, you're going to be rewarded for this. Yeah. You going to hit that lick, that $5,000 virtually, that $10,000 shoulder. You're going to hit these licks. That is the payment for the level of effort that you put in. Don't think I put this in and I'm sitting there waiting on this streaming. No, you need to put the effort in first, and you're gonna be rewarded according to your effort. And it's funny to me that he know this type of stuff, because he's like probably one of the first persons that I think, but I was telling he one of the first people that speak so clearly about it that hadn't been locked up like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was speaking my language, you know, so. And I've been living on like that. You can't worry about nothing. All you gotta worry about is what level you putting in. That's, if I had been worried about just the I gotta get this for what I'm doing, I never would have been came down.
Yeah. It's baby steps in a lot of scenarios, and we can make the mistake of looking at where this person is and think that, okay, I need a band, man. Right there. Now you ain't, just go through the process, just work the process, and then
You're
sooner or
gonna do
later.
a whole lot of work to get to where you're gonna do a whole lot of work for a little.
Yeah.
Before you get to a place where you can do a little for a lot.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, that's a boy. Look, that's a 20-second timeout. That's another one. See, he said something a minute ago. I didn't get a chance because I didn't want to stop him, but he said something like, we learned from the bottom. So we call them T-shirt moments, T-shirt quotes that people come on when they drop something big like that. That's dope, man. But that's the wisdom, once again. But well, the thing is, man, I view you as one of those brothers that's coming. Yeah. You on the way, and I think it's all a matter of people hearing you. Enough people hearing you at the right time. It's gonna be instant. People, you're gonna be gone once they get to hear you on something big, some type of song platform. They're gonna say, who is that dude? Man. You know what I'm saying? So, we wish you the best, man. And to be that one, like with Pimp and Bun did for Port Arthur, we want to see you do that for Longview, man. And plain and simple, man.
And I see that vibe. I was going that part of my notes. I had that vibe because it gives me that same thing. Like your albums remind me of Super Tank. You know, you just came with it like that vibe that came through the city. You're like, we don't know where they from, but they us. You know what I'm saying? And let me hear more of that. You know what I'm saying? And let's stamp that with us. And so, what Kate just said with that, I think you as an
I appreciate that. The city, like, since that's another thing why I wanted to get the albums out before I had moved here, because little by little, like, man, y'all just have Almeida's a motherfucker. Pleasantville is like, Emancipation. Like, y'all got this. And this stuff is talking to me. Like, this stuff is saying stuff, and it's adjusting my outlook, and it's a powerful place, man.
How often do you go back home? Yeah. And how do they receive you now when you go? Because now you got some wind under your wing.
Shout out Cal Wayne. I got to say this. Cal gave me this. He say, and this is true. He's like, this, I like to hear when I'm saying what I'm saying, I want to hear somebody go against what I'm saying. So he say, yeah, Al, but you don't have to, when you don't live up to shit here, you can, like, you got to walk around this motherfucker with that shame. If you lose here,
you still won.
Yeah, you go back home, you're great. You're the legend. They looking at you like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You got to lose here. You got to walk around and be in front of these. And Kid told me that as well. Like, he tell me that, man, you came home at the right time. When I'm up, you gonna walk around with my mouth white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people, all y'all done been through stuff.
Right.
But back home, first of all, my neighborhood, you know what I mean? My city, I'm from a murderous little town. Like, I'm from, like, it's bad. It's like Pleasantville. It's like what other hood is like? It's not like Third Ward, because Third Ward got love in it. Yeah. But it's just not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that being said, like, I'm received well. They look at me like I did well. I represent them well, right. Being around you guys, that's like, man, he made it, so I'm received really well back home. I don't know if it, if my neighborhood is special to me, like, 300 blocks.
That's where the 300 come from.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, just standing up for them and just not letting nobody down. I always been like that though. Like, even like, I always was like a person like, if I leave this room, or if I'm somewhere, like, whatever situation that I'm in, I want all of my homies to be proud. I did the right thing. Like, I did I ain't gonna get to Sway in the Morning or somewhere, and you ever heard of K-Reno? Oh,
Right.
I heard it. Nah.
Right.
What's up? Let's go.
Right.
What about KeKe? Was he? Nah. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm ready for Jay-Z. You know, I'm gonna do the right thing. Like I'm gonna always, you know, do the right thing. So, and I want, in my absence, I want people to say like I know he wouldn't do. I know he'd do this.
I know he got me. Yeah.
You know,
he ain't gonna forget. Yeah.
Right. And that if you ever hear something that you don't think is right, that you'll say, "No, I don't think he'd do that."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm big with that.
Come on.
Like,
yeah.
He wouldn't.
Somebody bringing some faulty information. You're like, nah, that ain't the dude.
Right. That's not him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm real big on that.
Absolutely.
We don't got enough of that no more.
Yeah.
Like now everybody is saying, "Well, I don't know."
For real?
Yeah. Or they
For
say,
real?
"I don't know."
Yeah.
Man, instead of saying like, "Nah, that ain't. I don't know him like that."
Yeah, Kay was talking about the AI and all that stuff that's coming around where they can actually show you doing this shit.
Yeah.
And it ain't even you.
Right. and somebody see it with their eyes and go, "Oh man, he done fell." No, that ain't even him. But in general conversation, I totally agree. It's like, you know, it goes from somebody who you've never had a negative interaction with. Every interaction you've had with that person has been straight up. And then somebody out of left field come and say, "Oh man, that boy had deep in that." And instead of me going, I go, "No, stuff, man, that boy did you like that?" No.
Character
we
assassination.
like that, man.
And for somebody like me that's so into that, I'm real big in that. My character, my word.
Come on.
I know what I said. I know what I didn't say. I know what I did. I know what I didn't. You can we can have a conversation. I'm not lying. So you can ask me about something years ago that I told you. I do remember saying that because I said that.
Because that's how I feel about that. Yeah.
And I'm intentional in my word.
Right.
So with that being said, like, hey, you know, I'm real big on that. So to answer your question, like back home, I'm just an honorable member and an honorable representation of everything that I say.
Man, well, no
Let
doubt.
me ask you this last one. Has KeKe ever really introduced you to Al D?
No.
No?
Al D,
Screw Brother.
Yeah. No.
Like,
no. I've never. Is he still active?
I don't think so. I don't think he's still rapping. But
Shout out Al D.
Yeah.
My name is Aldarian Davis.
Yeah.
My uncle's name is Alfred Davis. Like, I come from a long line of Al D's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just that's a name that you in my family, Al D.
You know what it's like? It's like Mike D. You know, I remember like, and I know Mike have probably had these same conversations. I remember Mike D from the Beastie Boys back in the day. So you just Mike. So it's a name that could easily be somebody else could have that name. So it's all love.
I do respect the legacy. You know what I'm saying? I respect what he's what he was able to accomplish in his time. Home of the Brave, I definitely remember.
Yeah.
I've been at D, so I definitely love seeing my name. Written like, hey, you know.
And I know Aldi, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's my partner. You know, from way back. Yeah. Without a doubt, I would love to see that, man. You know, shout out to Aldi, man. Salute to my brother,
for
man.
sure to the life.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
I know a million KeKes too.
Yeah.
You know.
You sure right?
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it.
But I'm just, you know, with my name, everything about me is it's not I just thought of it. It's not just hey, you know what'll be a cool name, you know, call me Al. No.
Yeah.
Again, I'm Aldarian Davis, everybody know that.
Yeah.
I've been Al D all my life that I can remember. Before I was Lil Al, you know what I'm saying? And then I became Al D.
Dude.
Lil Al D, you know, and then Al D.
Yeah,
then the 300 is something that my energy always came from my neighborhood. I was just telling somebody the other day, like the way not even in no rap, but just the way I deal with problems or deal with situations was always in the way that we would do it. And I always felt like the way I would deal with it should be compared to Compton, California, or Watts or Fifth Ward, or the same way we know them. We should know South Park. We we should know 300 that way because I'm gonna deal with it the same way.
Right,
you know?
right.
It gotta get harder if your last name is Davis. We
Yeah.
stayed on Davis.
Man.
Another one of my gifts. Some people do not like that. It's like I got too much Davis power.
Man.
Yeah, some people don't, you know, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, we thank you for coming on, brother. This has been a
Man, it's been my favorite interview so far.
So there we go. We got another one.
Yeah.
Man, that's all. That's all.
Pay the man, K.
Stamp, man. Yeah, the check is in the mail, man. But no, we appreciate that, brother, because you know the interview was made by the people we talk to, and like I said, your wisdom and just your transparency and everything, your knowledge of the game, the streets, whatever it is absolutely gonna be a benefit to people who watch this interview. So we thank you, man. The one and only. Well, I don't say the one and only, but the latest version.
We can't say that.
The great LD 300, my brother, man. It's your big brother K Reno.
It's your boy Key Stove.
Underground Dialogue Podcast.
At this bitch.
Big brother K Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue Podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue Podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volas. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volas.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volas, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is. Catch y'all later on.